Off our second day of the knockouts for the Wild for the mid-season cup and a battle for the semi-final spot. We jump to the land of Dawn, taking a look at, of course, how things are going to get situated here in the early game. Of course, I like that we mentioned it's the Wombo combo setup, you know, coming from SEEYOUSOON. Already some early action kind of testing the waters here in the mid lane, but I think that's one thing we really have to take. Whoa, actually. Bra's getting poked really far down. FCAP wants to go ahead and put the pressure on this purple.
That's the power of the Lilia in the mid lane. It's basically almost auto prio every single time. You're able to shove the wave so easily, and especially here with the help of the Minotaur. Because of that, Kyle TZ picks up a free lethal, and he'll be a bit ahead of MP when it comes to the clear. But also, Felix. That's an Impure Rage, not the normal Brave Smite we're used to seeing on Terizla.
It's funny, you know, we've seen that like a couple times now where, and I feel like it's still debatable, but he gets enough, I feel like, sustain also just having the Festival of Blood. You know, Brave Smite, and Brave Smite is a little overkill for some, but you take the Impure Rage, that helps you kind of spam your abilities a little bit more too. You get some mana there, of course, to work around with. But I think biggest thing is also just talking about the matchup in the jungle. You know, you have this Hayabusa and MP the King, and he's been honestly probably one of the biggest contributors to SEEYOUSOON getting to this point. And he might become, you know, now going against this Julian pick like we've seen from Kyle TZ could be crucial. Already top lane.
Great prediction on the hatch chain. Gets Flap TZ a few resets on the Vengeance. Ra gets popped in very, very low. Force to flick around. Boxy now shoving himself in front, forcing Few to use the Purify. Felix going for it, but now gets knocked up. Vengeance reset for Flap TZ, and Kyle will just be able to walk in to pick up first blood. SEEYOUSOON. A bit of overextension up top.
Yeah, I guess like you know, it was more so like they thought they were going to be able to get that kill, but the rotation decision from Falcon's APBREN gave him the upper hand, and then I feel like they were just like, oh man, there's way too many here than we thought. So this is also going to be an objective now taken over here for Falcon's APBREN pretty easily at this early point in the game.
It was a free objective, a free kill as well up top. SEEYOUSOON, this is already very uncharacteristic. Usually they have a lot of prio in the mid lane, and that's why here, if you take a look at it, maybe that's why Boxy the King actually went for the Brave Smite instead of the Concussive Blast. You know, instead of actually trying to force a 50-50, a bio matchup in the mid lane, he's like, you know what, okay, the Lilia's going to win anyways, might as well go for additional sustain for some of these skirmishes later on, but Few on the Lilia, he really has a hold on these choke points, man. Yeah,
he does. And I think part of that, going back to with Boxy, is like, you obviously want to get your implosion set up. You want to be able to get the, you know, the CC there, because you also have a, you know, this time around a Vexana, and we've seen, honestly, teams haven't been prioritizing the Vexana pickup as much, I feel like, lately. So this is also nice to see this Vexana and also the Lilia pop up. We saw this yesterday. I think you mentioned it was like a 100% win rate, right, for the Lilia right now. And so that's part of the case is for SEEYOUSOON. You know, you want Boxy to live a little bit longer, Ra hopefully too, able to get the damage, but this all brings us back to also that gold lane matchup. Man, bulletproof Marco, Super Marco.
20 KD.
20 KDA, you know, at this point. And Soul, obviously, on the carry pick, has to get time to build up here on this, you know, and you relying on the fact that, all right, I have very little range on this carry, so I'm going to be fighting against this kind of lineup from Falcon's APBREN, where they actually have good setup potential as well. You can already see Thunderbelt being picked up here. By the way, I'll never forget the commercials for the Thunderbelt, man. You know, it's really good commercials for the new items here.
Oh, that's the final slash from the flicker right into the chain, straight into the combo. Flap TZ picking up a double early on. That's the Falcon's APBREN ambush.
I thought you were going to say that's the Thunderbelt. That's that spin kick he did in the commercial.
Close enough.
But he did it with the Arla here. Again, this is showing that, yes, SEEYOUSOON has a Wombo combo composition, but Falcon's APBREN, they can fight back too. Look at this.
Another final slash, forcing the penalty zone now from Felix, trying to go away, and flickers out to safety, but Few is still so healthy. Pops into black shoes. Flap TZ gets rid of him with a Vengeance. Boxy trying to go for it, has the implosion, just goes onto the Minotaur as MP walks forward, goes to the Shadow Kill too, but Owen reads it, knocks him out with the Minuan's Fury, straight into Few's damage. 5-0 Falcon's APBREN.
Yeah, the answer to deal with this Hayabusa just seems to be the setup. Look at this once again, STC replay here. That final slash with that Thunder Belt as well from Flap. Absolutely beautiful.
This
Here
too.
as well.
The timing.
Yeah, the timing with the Minoan Fury knocking up MP the King. He has no chance to get back. You can see, hey, Flap, he's feeling pretty good.
I love you in a different language, you know?
Every time we see one of these players do that, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, I care for you.
I care for you.
you up, you know? I'm carry you, right?
Good luck next time.
Good luck next time. Yes.
Taking a look at the items here, falling in place. Hunter Strike is going to be picked up for MP the King. You know, so he's at least got that first item locked in, but he's kind of falling behind. Look at the Genius Wand already here for Kyle Teasy. And that actually works pretty well with the fact that, hey, we already saw the damage that the Lilia can do. Now you have the Genius Wand working in that coordination with the Lilia pick. Oh, then Ogwyn gets the Flask of the Oasis already. So it gets increasingly more difficult for SEEYOUSOON at this point in the game to actually penetrate through that healing. Also, look at this. Despite being labeled the hyper-aggressive, SEEYOUSOON has yet to record a first blood in MSC 2024.
That's an interesting stat, despite the fact that, you know, SEEYOUSOON have been playing with the Banes, have been playing with a lot of the aggressive heroes in the jungle, too. You would expect them to go for a little bit more of this. Engages, pickoffs, but it's all been Kyle Teasy and Flap Teasy looking for these plays up top, a knock-up into a vengeance. Felix not able to survive there.
Sorry, Felix wants to, you know, he wants to play. He's sorry, but he wants to play. He gets continuously knocked in the air here, and already Terizla, you know, 0-3. This is a very tough position to be in because of the fact that, once again, your job as the Terizla is to just set up hope.
Final slash flicker onto Ra. Now with the flicker as well, it's going to be Ogwyn catching him. Flap Teasy going to be caught in the implosion. Has Eternal Guard there, placed out by Ra, but it doesn't connect onto anyone. Boxy able to get himself back to safety, as in the bottom lane, it's just a little bit of these gold laners trying to find a better angle on each other. No kills on the board, a lot of resources burnt though.
Yeah, this is, in this situation, now the third turtle's up. I don't know, man. SEEYOUSOON, I don't know if they want to fight this. Maybe just go for this steal, but it looks like they're just going to give it up. Sorry, Felix cannot go down again here. He's already quite gapped. He's only level 7. He's about to hit level 8, but Flap's level 10 and 4-0-2.
Yikes.
Feather of Heaven going to be picked up by Kyle Teasy. At least Soul has just been, you know, farming up. He's been farming. Gold lane experience.
For sure. MP is also going to be able to pick up the Sky Piercer here in the 7th minute of the game. Boxy picks up the Radiant Armor. Definitely now understands the threat of not just the Lilia, but the Shred coming down from the Julian. It's very, very deceiving, you know, that damage. You don't expect it, and then suddenly your HP bar just gets completely demolished, deleted. Super Marco sieging down in the bottom lane with the Roger. Seems like Boxy can't even walk up. He was going to be able to dish out some damage. Ogwyn has the knockup. Good Eternal Guard with the Terrify to disengage from that skirmish. And for SEEYOUSOON, it's really all about getting the gold lane to a spot where he can actually farm, because Soul is struggling now.
Yeah, I would say, you know, looking at the items here too, for SEEYOUSOON, it's got to be, we'll see you later in this game, because they need time, man, to build up. You can see the gap between the gold lane alone is going to continue to build up here. For SEEYOUSOON, it's really just letting Soul farm up, get to the point where he can actually pop off the damage, because like you mentioned, Mirko, the Julian is enough, even with that Genius Wand combination, to come up and kind of shred these tankier heroes like this. Look at Boxy just trying to get into this bush, get some vision available, holding down the tier 1. Look at that.
He might have to flicker, you know, if this continues. Felix going to be displaced by the final slash. Straight into the damage of the Vengeance. Now as MP the King walks forward with a Quad Shadow. Not enough first. It takes Felix down. The few tries to dive under the tier 1 and tier 2, sandwiching them in their own turret. And you can see the key here. That is going to be the thing that Falcons APBREN is looking for. Wow, already flickering out too. Just out of skill 1.
I like how they, after the team fight, you know, they're like, here, this is what you're playing for again. You know,
Shadow kill. There's no black shoes on Few, but they do still have the motivation roar. And for MP the King, he will still have that Quad Shadow to disengage. Still, this is a dominant game so far for Falcons APBREN.
Yeah, very, very dominant. Also, great job. They actually got the tier 1 down after all that work. Hold on.
Boxy? Boxy popped in the implosion there with the Terrify too, but there's no Eternal Guard. Super Marco goes with the Lycan Pounce, baits out the flicker. Now no flicker on Boxy. Even when he gets that implosion, Falcons APBREN, they can read it out so easily, and because of that, yeah, they're just going to go straight to the Lord. This is Lord number 1, Falcons APBREN. A perfect game so far. Not even a turret traded.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, now they do. They get a bottom lane turret, right, with the waves pushed in, but the fact that it took 9 minutes for one turret to be taken by SEEYOUSOON is concerning, Naisu.
It is, and you know, you really have to respect the way that Falcons APBREN plays the macro game. Sometimes they're not after these kills, and they know it. They can actually just get some of these spells out, like we saw them do against Boxy, where he burned the flicker, he burned the implosion. That's a green light to go take the Lord. And so now they're going to find themselves trying to defend up here on the top. They should be able to do okay, but I'm worried. I'm actually worried about their clearing potential because of the lead that Falcons APBREN has. We're talking, you know, 6,000 gold ahead. When this Lord does get to the base, they might just force the issue and force a situation where SEEYOUSOON's left with their backs against the wall, kind of like, all right, well, I guess we're going to have to fight this.
There's not much they can do right now except for play tower defense in their own base, because even few can dive under the tier 2, utilizing waves that is all pushing in towards SEEYOUSOON. Just using the emotes, popping into holy defense, and now going to be attacking with another wave build-up in the mid lane too. Top lane with the Lord now. FlatTZ looking for an angle to go in as MP the King pops into Quad Shadow and the Shadow kill. And you can see the poke, the FlatTZ able to find the final slash with the Flicker. Boxy gonna get the implosion down, but the Minion's Fury catches them again. They're unable to go for the engage. Kyle goes and uses the way to crowd to escape. That's a stun on the Felix. No kills traded like a pounce by Super Marco as he dives deep in the base turret. MP can only just Quad Shadow back and forth. And for Falcons APBREN, they are flying across the skies. These base turrets stand no chance. 2 base turrets with the first Lord.
Yeah, the first Lord, and you saw how masterfully that went for Falcons APBREN, the way they juggled that turret, they initiated, and even at the cost of 1 life, I mean, they're going to get the base fully exposed here.
No, MP going to be immobilized, doesn't catch him with the final slash. FlatTZ.
Couple hits away.
They're going to take it chill. They've taken 2 base turrets. That in itself is impressive.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know, looking at the items too, falling into place. Winter's Crown now here for Kyle TZ. Yes, and
that's
also
another one, Fu.
That's another one. The flap TZ gets it too. And, you know, with that, Boxy making a play.
Great pick, but it's only onto Flap. He can pop in the Vengeance now, and it's going to be the enhanced chain to knock him up. Another Vengeance in the final slash right into the Lycan Pounce. Now another immobility onto the backside. FlatTZ with a dive again under the base turret. What are they going to do? MP gets knocked up, and the prediction right into the Quad Shadow. What are they made of? Falcons APBREN dominating, stomping, and now diving on Ra, forcing him back on the base.
They're going to juggle the base?
They're going to try to do it, man, but I don't think they can go for the kill. They don't even need to. They can just go straight for the base that is wide open. 13